what's the big idea?
Welcome to another edition of Under the Bridge. I'm Alan Sutherland, also known as WS. Alongside with me, the two greatest podcast hosts that aren't myself. It is Oliver Valenti.
Howdy, guys.
And Matt Spelden.
What's up, everyone?
Smith and Bears fan 092, respectively. Well, we've got a lot of show, a lot of great stuff to talk about. Worlds, we're recording this on a Saturday. Worlds just happened last weekend, and it was amazing. Vancouver was incredible. Also, a ton of X and Y news has started to come out, especially with the Pokemon game show that's happening this weekend. The new demo's out. We got a ton of new information, including Mega Evolutions and a new show based directly on the games. A new special, I should say.
And let's not forget the National Pokemon Association.
Oh,
of course.
My God. I'm
How
so
could I
pumped
forget?
for that.
Yes, we will get into the NPA. And, of course, Smith, I believe you are managing a team.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to shamelessly plug the Goldenrod Rollouts. Our IRC channel is hashtags Goldenrod Rollouts. Please stop by if you'd like to try out or if you'd like to socialize. There's a little trademark sign in there, but I can't do it with my voice.
Alrighty, I'm sure you'll have plenty of other opportunities to plug your team as well as all the other teams as well.
Go Rollouts.
All right, but first, let's talk about Worlds. So, Worlds this year was in Vancouver, Canada, and my goodness, what a gorgeous location. That was just incredible, the sights to see.
I pretty much want to live in Vancouver now.
You know, except for not having a phone the entire weekend, which was pretty annoying. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything better.
My parents got me a data plan, so I was pretty much the guy with the phone the whole weekend if anybody wanted to get a hold of me, or anybody in my nuclear group of people.
Yeah, I was stuck at home for the duration of Worlds, but I thought it was pretty humorous watching people send out public tweets over Twitter trying to set up meetups, and that's how I knew things weren't going that well.
One of the few plus sides of not going to Worlds is that you can, in fact, use your phone.
Even still, you had to be able to use your phone to use Twitter, you had to find a Wi-Fi signal, and there were not very many Wi-Fi signals to go around. Like, there wasn't one at the convention center. So you pretty much had to go to, like, Tim Hortons.
Which is never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing to go to Timmy's or, you know, McDonald's or whatever to find a Wi-Fi signal. But it wasn't too bad. And then, of course, the level of play, as always at an event like this, was just off the charts unbelievable. Like the LCQ, I mean, you had 4 great players get through, and you had countless other top-notch players get knocked out. I mean, it was just incredible.
I do want to talk about Team Singapore, because I think for the people at the event, like there was this one girl from Singapore that made it into the top 4, and they're like just the only people supporting her, like the only people there from Singapore were like these 2 guys. One of them was wearing a Team Plasma outfit, which gave us Magma guys.
Yeah.
But they were just sitting there like waving flags, like these tiny little flags, not our obnoxious ones that we wear as capes, like just like waving the flags, like go, like man, I can't pronounce, like you can do it, and it was really funny, especially because at one point we had like a USA versus Japan chant going on like during the LCQ, and I just broke it with Singapore. I think we could all agree on Singapore being the best Pokemon nation, especially because they don't have any official tournaments or anything. They had one girl get through, one guy that got knocked out in the top 8, like a pretty strong showing for a country that we pretty much didn't know existed in Pokemon terms.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And that Team Plasma outfit was top-notch. I mean, I've never seen a better replication of anything at an event like this. But we had 171 competitors in Masters, which blew last year's number out of the water. I mean, it was super tough to get through LCQ this year. 34 seniors in LCQ and 30 juniors as well. Also not bad numbers considering the age range there.
The seniors one was kind of funny because they had to play one round, the first round, and there were only 2 battles going on. So I don't want to imagine what it was like to be playing in that round, but I'm sure it wasn't fun.
Yeah, I would not have been happy to miss out on a bye in that first round. Even though in Masters LCQ, which you and I both played in, Smith, you got the bye in the first round, and I had to play, which I was pretty annoyed about. It seemed like everyone I knew got buys but me. But
I can't. I'm not sure if the bye helped me because then when I got into round 2, I was very not warmed up, and I lost to Ryan Langford. And if you don't know who he is, I don't know who he is either. But Azelf proved too strong, and I got beat by my own hail, and it was kind of sad for a while until I realized I was at Vancouver, and then I got a little happy again.
It wasn't just Azelf. What kind of Azelf was it?
It was the mightiest Azelf of all Azelf. Stronger than Normal Gem. Stronger than Choice Scarf. Stronger than Nasty Plot. The almighty Choice Band Azelf. With Explosion, with U-Turn, with Ice Beam, and with Zen Headbutt.
With Ice Beam.
Or Ice Punch, excuse me. This singles machine made quick work of my poorly constructed VGC team.
And this man is a manager of a team.
I'm not a player in the team, let's say that much.
Yeah, who let that happen? But, I mean, even with myself playing in that first round, it didn't do me very, very good for that second round of play. I got destroyed. I had to play Wesley Morioka.
Ooh.
Very, very good player, of course, so I wasn't very confident going in. But, I mean, he just wiped the table with me. 4-0, 4-0, see you later. Good try, good luck. Man,
8-0, that's rough. But Wesley's a really good player.
Oh, yeah, he's really good. And I was talking to him. He's a very nice guy, so it's always good to lose to someone like that as well. But, yeah, I mean, it did not do very good things for my confidence going forward. But it is what it is.
At least you didn't have to play any more matches after that, because you did not play well.
Exactly. So, I mean, let's talk about the actual competition. 2 days worth of competition. They played the Swiss round as well as top 8 and top 4 on the first day, with the championship coming in the second day. I thought it was a pretty good setup. The rounds went smoothly. Everything seemed to run pretty great.
Yeah, and I think everybody was pretty stoked that they had a stream up this time that wasn't like an absolute mockery of our game. We had, if you weren't obviously aware, Scott and Evan were doing the video game stream, and it was really fantastic, very professional, miles and bounds ahead of what we had previously. And so even for the people at home like Bears, I think Worlds was a pretty cool experience because you could watch what was going on and get some actual commentary about things besides Lightning type.
Yeah, watching the stream, with the commentary was really good because in past years, I always felt like this kind of disconnect because A, we didn't have a stream, or B, it was GameSpot. In this case, it was neither. So I could sit down, I could watch some really clear battles, and listen to two guys one guy who really knew what he's doing, and one guy who could do play-by-play better than I can. So I was entertained, and it gave me an excuse to sit in front of my computer for like 4 hours.
Yeah, hats off to them. They did a really great job. I was talking to a bunch of people afterwards that were there but don't really play Pokemon, and they told me how the commentary really helped them to understand better what was going on. And I mean, that's really what you want out of commentators. And I mean, they're super engaging. And, I mean, it was just miles and miles better than what they had last year. I mean, it was just great. I really hope that they continue this forward throughout the next season, which I'm sure they will because it was just such a great success. They streamed for the top 8 matches and the top 4 matches as well as the championship round. So hopefully we can get some Swiss commentary next round. I can't talk. But this is just great for the first year of those guys doing it. So let's talk about the results. Something that I know everyone was kind of shocked about was Ray Rizzo's performance at Worlds this year.
The man used Torkoal. I mean, come on, how far can you get with Torkoal?
Hey,
Torkoal isn't horrible. I mean, he used it for a reason. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's slow. It's really slow. You get
really defensive.
Really defensive. I mean, clearly the theme at Worlds this year that I want to talk about is really ridiculously, really weird fire types. I feel like everybody notable had one really awkward fire type that we didn't know existed.
Well, Sajin, who of course ran through the Swiss rounds undefeated, before losing to Ryosuke in the top 8 match. He had a Magmar on his team.
I think Wolf did too. Actually,
Wolf yeah. I had some intel leaked to me on Wolf's team, and I was like, no way, this can't be right.
Yeah, I was even incredulous because I'm like, I know he's gonna do something ridiculous for this, and then no, I still couldn't believe it.
Yeah, but the thing is, the idea seemed so ridiculous that it made sense, and I really don't think it was. I don't think it was a bad team, and Magmar is a pretty legitimate Pokemon with Eviolite.
Can we talk about Wolf's team? The event's over. I think we both know it.
Yeah. Everyone should know it by this point.
I think it's allowed. I think we could do it.
Yeah. So
break some news.
He was rocking. Let's see. I don't know the sets very well because
I can help in this regard. He had Gliscor, Hippowdon, Registeel, Magmar, Rotom Wash that was kind of similar to Aaron Zhang's, and Calm Mind, Mono Draco Meteor Latios with Substitute and Recover.
Goodness gracious.
Overall, he had like 16 offensive EVs, attack or special attack. The rest of them were invested into speed and bulk. Most of his Pokemon only had one attacking move, and it was a pretty novel team. I kind of wish it went further than it did because I think it would have shaken up the metagame and how we play this game. But from what I understand, the timer burned him. Is that right?
I think my understanding is the biggest thing that burned him was he pretty much only played against people who knew his team very, very well.
I saw that round 1. Kamal Harris, also known as 616, also known as Phonic Frog, versus Wolf. And if you're not familiar, those two are buds. So on occasion they'll practice together. So that's a rough one.
Yeah, I heard it was more than on occasion. Yeah, so kind of a rough. Who did Ray play round 1 that he dropped the first round?
Oh, he played Maddie.
Yep, that
was right, Mateo. Who's using Arcanine, our third ridiculous fire type.
Yes, indeed.
With Safeguard. I'm sure my Magma comrades are very pleased.
Yeah, down with Breloom.
Yeah, down with the Moongus, too. Down with Swagger.
Well, yeah, unfortunately that didn't really happen considering Swagger made the championship on Ryosuke's team. But yeah, Ray and Wolf both ended up 3-3. So, I mean, even with their ridiculous teams, they were still able to win, half their matches. But it wasn't good enough to get in the top 8 this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most competitive Worlds field we've had ever, pretty much. So, I mean, I don't think it's a discredit to them that they didn't top cut like we kind of all expected them to. I mean, they're still obviously amazing players, and I expect them to bounce right back.
Yeah, I think that's a credit to the CP system that they ran this year. You saw the right players get the invites this year, and that was the goal, and that's what happened.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, more consistency is always a good thing. I'm kind of curious what they'll do with the CP next year, though.
I'm sure they'll have a few little tweaks here and there, but I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't really change it all that much. Maybe. I don't know. I was going to say put more emphasis on the Wi-Fi tournaments, but
Well,
yeah.
if Gen 6 allows us to know who DC'd and count it as a win and a loss, I'd be totally fine with the Wi-Fi tournaments mattering.
Hey, that is the rumor. The rumor is that they have that capability with this generation. So fingers crossed.
What we know is that officially they released that if you DC counts as a loss. What we don't know is some people have interpreted that as both players lose, which would be even worse actually. But I don't know. Hopefully they can sort that out.
Just. Kind of put the whole brakes on our optimism. Anyone who's played Mario Kart DS or Metroid Prime Hunters online last generation, that technology actually was in place so you could tell who disconnected. The problem is people found workarounds to it, and they were extremely easy to do. So I'm kind of worried about that happening to X and Y. But again, speculation, X and Y speculation comes later in the show.
Well, yeah. Well, best thing we could do is keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best in that regard. But hey, let's talk about the champions. In the junior division, finally, Brendan Zhang, Babytron, got his much-desired World's Championship trophy, defeating Fuka Nakamichi 2-0. His team was Rotom Washing Machine, Cresselia, Conkeldurr, Escavalier, Jellicent, and Heatran. Pretty similar to what his brother was running, but a few key differences as well.
It's a team I really liked, especially some of the sets. I know he had Choice Band Escavalier with Protect, which is just hilarious. Lum Conkeldurr, which totally came up big in his finals match. Chesto, Resto, Rotom Wash. These really cool defensive sets that I really wasn't expecting for a juniors metagame.
Yeah, this maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but this kind of reminds me of Japanese teams would look like in 2012, especially when you start seeing things like Escavalier and Jellicent. But overall, I definitely approve of this team, and it kind of shows you Brendan's got the skills to pilot these teams. It's just weird things happen at nationals to stop him from winning there too.
Yeah, I think contrary to every other junior who has a big brother that also played this game, Babytron is a very, very capable player in his own right. As I think we saw, I was talking to Human the day before, and I'm like, oh, what's Brendan running? Is it the same thing Cybertron uses? He's like, no, dude, Brendan makes his own teams. And yeah, he showed me, man. I mean, he demolished Fuko in the finals match. It was a really good game of Pokemon, which I think is more than you can say about a lot of juniors battles.
That's very, very true. If I had a brother like Cybertron, I would probably try to take a team from him, or at least get some input from him on my team. But it seemed like Babytron built his own one, and it was great. It was better than anything I could build, better than anything I could play with, probably. So I was really impressed. He's going to be a force in seniors next year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and speaking of seniors, it was Hayden McTavish, Enigma versus Ben Hickey, Dark Penguin 67 in the finals. And Hayden was able to take it out 2-0. His team was Scissor, Thunderous, Machamp, Rotom Washing Machine, Heatran, and Cresselia. And wow, I was really impressed by Hayden in this competition. He had to come through the LCQ, which means he played the most Pokemon out of anyone the entire weekend. And, wow, talk about running the gauntlet.
I really liked his team, too. I think Machamp, it was funny because in the interview with Evan, we were all surprised by Machamp. And he's like, nah, Machamp makes sense. I don't get why nobody's using it. Because a dilemma I always have with my teams is, Hitmontop's a little too defensive almost, and with Intimidate. And its physical bulk really isn't that great without Intimidate. And Conkeldurr is good and everything, but I don't like missing... Ice Punch doesn't always hit when I need to hit. I worry about Volcarona and stuff sometimes. So Machamp's actually pretty cool just because it has Dynamic Punch, it has a Stone Edge that actually hits, it has Wide Guard. You could run it bulky like he did, and it was very key in his battles. It lived some really important moves. I really liked Machamp, actually. I think it showed in the finals where it's pretty much the MVP.
Yeah, Machamp is definitely something that it really likes the support, and it pairs really well with Thunderous with that ugly Dynamic Punch Thunder Wave combo. It's free Parafusion, except it hurts. So, yeah, congratulations to Hayden for using a pretty cool Pokemon. I've used it once, and it was fun then, but I haven't used it since.
It's very, very impressive performance. He just kind of came out of the woodwork, I think, for most people. And, he absolutely stomped Ben in the final there. And one of the things that impressed me the most also was how cool and collected he was even after he had won. He was like, yeah, I expected to win. Whatever. You compare that to, Arash. Well, I guess I just spoiled who won Masters. But you compare that to Arash and Brendan, who both, were jumping up and down, rightfully as they should. They just won Worlds. Hayden just sat there, took off his sweatshirt, was like, yeah, cool. What's up?
Act like you've been there before. And he knows that.
Showed everybody his Kakuna Rattata, it means no worry shirt, which I approve of.
Yeah.
Indeed. Oh, man. So that was great to see. But so for Masters, we'll talk about Masters now. I mentioned it was Arash Ramadi, Mean versus Ryusuke Kosuge from Japan. And I should say Arash is from Italy. And Arash was able to take it 2-0. And, wow, talk about another impressive set of battles. Ryusuke had no chance.
The Ryosuke that we saw in the top 8 and the top 4, who I think was making really good plays in spite of his slight swagger, He just wasn't there for the finals. I mean, game 2, I don't know what he was thinking, but Mamoswine just earthquaked his Heatran and it died, and nothing went right after that.
Yeah, it was game over after that. I think Ryusuke might have done like one hit of damage, but it was still a 4-0 victory. I mean, Mean just ran circles around him. It was really impressive to watch.
Yeah, we always used to talk about how the Europeans ran a more offensive metagame. And Mean's team kind of still fits that mold. What do you think about that, Smith?
I like his team. I mean, Bears was saying before the cast that he thinks it's kind of a weird team to use at like a world's level metagame. But
I think Mamoswine, his set is weird to use. I'm okay with the other 5. That Mamoswine that makes me go ew.
I should mention, I think I forgot to mention the Pokemon that he used. It was Mamoswine, Conkeldurr, Heatran, Latios, Tornadus, and Amoonguss. Okay, you guys can go ahead now.
I mean, Matt's biggest beef with the Mamoswine was that it had a scarf. My biggest beef was that it was this disgusting shade of green that should not exist.
Well, okay, I don't know about green. I'm not a fashion coordinator guy. But Scarf Mamoswine, yes, it does get your surprise KOs on things like Therians and whatnot. However, Mamoswine has 2 amazing stab options in ground and ice, and they don't really overlap. Like, for instance, ground hits steel, ice doesn't. Ice hits, grass, and ground doesn't. So it's kind of nice to be able to switch between moves. I just don't like Scarf Mamoswine because, yeah, you get your surprise factor, but then if you get out-predicted or you need to hit 2 targets, you can't do that.
I think I've used like Scarf Cloyster before, and I kind of like Scarf Cloyster. Scarf Mamoswine, it made sense on his team, and I get what he was doing with it. It's not a set I would use. It's not a set Matt would use either. I mean, it won, obviously. Here at the Under the Bridge podcast, we take great pride in criticizing the winning teams of our division that we're playing in.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but I mean, he won, obviously. Congratulations, but again, not a team we pretend to understand as well as the user of it did.
Hey, I still think the other 5 are fantastic because Amoonguss Mamoswine is pretty good outside of Heat Wave. And Amoonguss Conkeldurr is amazing anti-trick room. Heatran plays really well with this team. That Heatran Conkeldurr combo. Yeah, it's a good team. I just have a beef with the choice scarf. I actually don't even mind Mamoswine that much. Just the choice scarf.
Well, I think this season it proved more so than any other season that this year it wasn't really about the team so much as it was about the player playing the teams and pulling the strings. And Arash was able to find a team that worked well for him, and he was able to, push all the right buttons whenever he needed to. And I mean, he won in such a convincing fashion. It's really hard to argue with what he was doing there.
I think that's going to happen though when we're kind of playing the same rule set as last year. It's really hard to get a jump on anyone with your team, unless your name's Wolf and you've got some crazy defense team. You can generally know what your opponent's going to do. So it's just a player-by-player thing.
That's fair. But, I mean, so with this World's Championships, that wraps up the 2013 season. Probably my favorite season of playing in the 4 seasons that I've been playing. Just with all the positive changes that TPCI made. And the metagame itself I thought it was really fun, even though it was the second year in a row that we've had it.
I kind of liked the really developed metagame because continually over the course of the season, even before nationals, we were like, "There's nothing left to do here. This metagame's kind of done. Let's just get the next one." And I think everybody kind of had this mindset. And then we saw Miss Dravis at nationals, and now we're seeing Machamp, and we're seeing Scarf Mamoswine, and we're seeing Sajin Park with his Marowak and the Magmar, and all this stuff that we hadn't even thought of, and it's kind of pushing the envelope on what we thought this metagame was all about. So I really don't mind the fact that we've been playing the same metagame for 2 seasons, because I think even if it makes innovation a little more difficult, when it does succeed, it's very inspiring to see, especially to operate on such a high level like Sajin did.
Totally. So, let's kind of reflect back. What was your favorite moment from the season?
Well, considering I wasn't able to go to Worlds, Nationals is going to be my highlight. Even though I won Philly, to be honest, it wasn't that fun. But Nationals is just you get to meet up with everyone, and you know, you get to talk with these people that you've been sitting in a chat room with for 8 months out of the year, and it just makes this game more significant.
Psh, what a cop out! That's not a moment.
Okay,
entire weekend.
Okay,
Of course,
you want a real moment?
I want a
Saving
moment.
Private Kamal. I'm going to leave it at that.
Smith, what about you? What was your favorite moment from the season?
I have to say, well, going into the Houston Regional, none of the Magmas thought we were going to do well. Ben registered with the fake name Benji DeGret. That was the name on like the Houston pairings and stuff. So, like, I mean, we were playing all day and like we kept winning and we were really shocked and surprised. And then just when we got to the finals, like I just saw Ben there. I just like gave him a big hug. We sat down. We took a bunch of pictures. We did like a what's it called, Dragon Ball Z pose, like with our fist touching in the middle and stuff. And then, like, our finals battle was ridiculous. Like, we were just making fun of each other the whole time, and we were bantering. And the judge was like, "You guys know this is the finals, right?" We're like, "Yeah, we know." Like, we were just having the time of our lives. It was, I mean, and that was the most fun I've had playing Pokemon in a while, even though I lost.
Well, that's great. I think my favorite moment didn't come while I was playing, but it was at Worlds. It was when Evan was interviewing Babytron after Babytron's victory. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Babytron took every possible moment he could to get a dig in at his older brother.
And Evan that was more than happy to let him.
Evan was more than happy to oblige. Aaron, of course, had lost in the semifinals to Ryosuke. Got pretty unlucky in doing so. Pretty unfortunate, missed 5 Will-O-Wisps in a row at one point. But
he only hit a Will-O-Wisp if he was parafused on his Rotom.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people get mad at Ryosuke, especially because he had swagger on the Thundurus and no Lumberries, no Person Berries. There was no other purpose for it besides what he was trying to do with it. But I mean, he was the guy in the World's Finals, and I mean, it's good if it works, right? So I mean, I guess that's all you can say about swagger. I get what he was trying to do because I mean, it really was his best option for dealing with stuff like bulky Rotom. Like the best thing to do is just to parafuse it and hope it sat there doing nothing. But
especially since the odds are that that's exactly what's gonna happen. You're gonna not be able to do anything. Yeah,
playing the odds was kind of a joke for the rest of Worlds after that set. We were just, anytime we did anything, we're just playing the odds. We're doing Ryosuke. That's what he did. But, I mean, it's not like you can blame that set only on the power of the Swagger Thunder Wave. Because, I mean, obviously Ryosuke is a fantastic player to get that far. And if Aaron had made some different plays, like if he had protected Landorus the turn and got Swagger Ice Beamed and stuff like that, it could have been a very different game. I mean, nobody only loses to luck. I mean, I don't think Aaron would want us to diss Ryosuke, and I don't think Ryosuke wants to be dissed. I mean, I think he's a fantastic player, but when everything's on the line like that, we would have made the same plays probably. Probably wouldn't have made the same team-building plays and putting Swagger on Thundurus with no Personberry. But, I mean, it's Worlds. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. And you're exactly right. He played his team to perfection probably up until that finals match.
Yeah. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, exactly. We all know what happened there. But, yeah, I think that'll do it. With that, we will put a nice little bow on the 2013 season, and we'll start looking forward to the 2014 season. We have 2 more regional dates, both in October, that will have this same rule set, but then after that, we move into XY, and who knows really what that has in store for us. I'm excited.
Excited but uneasy, mostly just because everything's really new.
Yeah, everything is really new, and one of the new things that's a huge addition, I think, in X and Y is the Mega Evolutions. If you don't know, and you're a Pokemon fan, you've probably been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks or so, but in X and Y, there's going to be these new things called Mega Evolutions that in order to Mega Evolve, you need to be holding the applicable Mega Stone and something else. There's another condition that we don't know how to do yet. But to do it, you choose to Mega Evolve in battle, and you can Mega Evolve and attack on the same turn. So it's looking pretty likely that we're going to have to deal with these Mega Evolutions in VGC.
I think it's gonna have like a similar effect that like Dream World abilities had in 5th generation. Because I mean, who would have believed you if you said at the end of 4th generation, you know what's gonna be the best Pokemon in 5th generation like OU? Politoed. Politoed's gonna be amazing. like stuff like that. And now we're already getting stuff like Kangaskhan pretty much has huge power and it can break through substitutes and stuff like that. Like it's absurd. We have no idea what's gonna come out of this. It's gonna be very exciting.
It certainly is an exciting time. So currently, there are 7 Mega Evolutions that have been confirmed to be true, to be happening. Those are Absol, Mawile, Lucario, Blaziken, Mewtwo, and Ampharos. Those were all revealed in the most recent edition of Korokoro. And then, of course, Kangaskhan, which was revealed in the opening ceremonies at Worlds.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked when I saw the Kangaskhan ability, especially the fact that it can hit twice. Now, I don't think we know how its mechanics work in doubles, right?
No, but the animation that comes up, or the text graphic, says that it's kind of like Bullet Seed, where it says it hits 2 times. So it should be able to like break substitutes and break sashes and stuff like that. At least that's what it looks like at this point.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how those base stats might change from the Mega Evolution.
Indeed. Of course, all the other Mega Evolutions, they get some sort of physical difference. Kangaskhan's, it's just the baby comes out of the pouch. I think it's pretty neat.
I think it's kind of cool because like all the other Mega Evolutions are like, like give it like ribbons and like make it like flame more and give it more arms and stuff and like just like make it like mighty and strong. Make Ampharos a dragon sheep. Just make it so ridiculous. Like overload this design, and then Kangaskhan's like, no, I'm just gonna take my baby out and we're just gonna tango. I love it. Like I already like Kangaskhan as a Pokemon. I love the Mega Evolution.
It is awesome. It is really awesome. So all the new Mega Evolutions that have been revealed thus far, they all get a change in their abilities, which is pretty interesting, I think.
Well, Blaziken keep speed boost, but yeah, we've seen a few new abilities I like.
Adaptability,
Yep,
Lucario.
That is so terrifying.
Holy cow.
I feel more for our singles brethren than us, but who knows? I mean,
Iron Tail 2-hit KOs Cresselia with Life Orb.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, for real.
Does it learn Iron Tail?
Well, I'm guessing it does. It's
a steel type and it has a tail.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Tail's a TM, isn't it? So,
wow. Okay, that's ridiculous, actually.
And I haven't even talked about close combat yet. I mean, what won't that one hit?
Like Mismagius.
Well, yeah. That's a good one. But I mean, like,
yeah, pretty much. Like, if you're taking damage from it, you're taking a lot of damage from it.
Yeah, I mean, with a fighting gem, I'd guess that a one-hit KO is some Metagross.
Wow. I don't even want to hear those words.
Yeah.
That fills my heart with terror.
That's really gross. And I really hope it doesn't get faster. That's the main thing that scares me.
Yeah, 95 is pretty much the like upper limit of this thing that isn't going to sweep me yet.
Yeah, if I think it's 100 or worse, oh boy.
Like 103, can you imagine? 103. That would just be the number to ruin everything.
Troll.
Hey, what's up, Garchomp? Oh, I O-code you.
I think Mawile is going to be fun. Mega Mawile with huge power. It'll be nice to see Mawile get some actual use in a battle. That's kind of
who doesn't like Mawile? He's just adorable.
Yeah, exactly. I'm right there with you.
It looks gross.
I think it looks great. It looks like Medusa to me a little bit, which I like Medusa.
It's still better than Mega Evolution of Absol.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
I don't know what happened there. He got like a hairstylist and like now he evolves or something. I'm a little confused.
Are we allowed to talk about unconfirmed stuff on the cast?
No.
Well, I'm going to do it anyway. So, but apparently trademarks have been filed for some other Mega Pokemon. The one that really scared me was Mega Latios, if that becomes a thing.
What?
Wow.
No. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and live in a world where that's not even. Not only is it unconfirmed, it's not even on the table and it doesn't exist.
I'm gonna also refuse to just believe that exists. I guess we'll see what happens come October, but man,
my overall quality of life just worsened.
Yeah, let's not think about that one too much.
I mean, like Mega Evolution Latios, that probably like violates the Geneva Convention. That's not even cool. I defer to the original decision of not discussing unconfirmed things now.
Well, hey, at least the nice thing about Mega Evolutions is that they also can't use items because they need their item to be able to Mega Evolve. So, no like crazy citrus berry combinations or anything like that. So that's kind of nice.
I am appreciative of that, at least.
But you have to wonder, if moves like Thief or Knockoff or things like that are going to be able to work on these things.
That's actually a really good point because
Or Trick.
Or yeah, of course, or Trick. The Greasiest Orb, of course, is blocked. You can't trick it off. The Arceus plates as well. You can't block it off, trick it off, or knock it off, or whatever. But I'll be really interested to see if you can with these.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they made it so you couldn't remove it. But at the same time, I sort of hope you can. It would make these Pokemon more vulnerable. Kind of bring them back down to earth.
Just makes things more fun too. Like, I mean, there's like more fun than playing around with Trick and like Skill Swap and stuff like that. Just makes Pokemon battles fun.
And also, when was the last time you actually got the chance to use Knockoff in a VGC match? I mean, really.
It certainly opens up a whole new world of possibilities if that were the case. So, I'm kind of hoping that you'll be able to do that myself, but we'll see what happens. All right, well that's basically our show for this month. Be sure to check out Nugget Bridge. There are a ton of upcoming events going on, including NPA, which I know we're all excited about.
Goldenrod
Like
Rollouts.
you wouldn't believe.
Go Rollouts.
So we're recording this on a Saturday. It's going up on Monday. That means you have until Wednesday to sign up for NPA if you haven't already. It's a great time. It's going to be a great time. Team tournament should be a blast. Also, be on the lookout for Tuesday night fights, which, of course, Matt, you're in charge of.
Yes, I'm going to plug this real fast. VGC 2010 was the winner, and the matchup is going to be announced tomorrow night, which is Sunday, so it'll be up before this cast goes on the air. But if you want to see a metagame that was pretty undeveloped relative to VGC 2013 with some Pokemon that you definitely haven't seen before, you should check it out. It's going to change the way you look at VGC.
2010 is what you said?
2010, yeah, big old Ubers coming out.
That was a great year. 2010 was a great year.
Yeah, it won by a landslide, so I think people really want to see those big guns come out.
Also, you might hear me on the commentary for future Tuesday night fights. That's in the works, so we'll see if I could actually find time to get away to do that, but be on the lookout for that. Also, there's a plethora of Worlds team reports going up. All the top battlers are going to do it. I know Cybertron is working on an epic for his, which seems like he does that for all of them, but this one's supposed to be ultra epic. And of course, Nugget Bridge is going to have the best, most up-to-date X and Y coverage around, so be sure to check out for that. Make sure to leave your comments in the forum thread or on the website there. If you want to get in contact with us, you can hit us up on Twitter. I am at NBDubs.
I am at Smith_VGC.
And I'm at BearsFan092_VGC.
Check us out on Facebook, Facebook.com/NuggetBridge. Also check out our page on Twitch, Nugget Bridge. And yeah, that'll do it. Thanks for listening. Do you guys have anything else you want to close with?
We're going to roll out the competition. There's another trademark sign there that you can't see because I'm speaking and not typing.
All right. 2 quick things. 1, draft me. 2, now that Worlds is done, just kind of a message to the community: stay involved with this game. This is like the time of year where you can practice relatively pressure-free and you can get a lot better in a really short amount of time. So stay involved, everyone, and let's build the community.
Thanks for the public service announcement there, Matt. All right, well, until next time, I'm Dubulus.
I'm Bears fan 092.
And I'm Smith.
Thanks for listening.
This has been a Nugget Bridge Radio Network production. For more information about our podcasts and in-depth analysis of the VGC circuit, visit www.nuggetbridge.com.